Well, today is a big one on how to increase the quality in your life. It's a few rules on this, but in this video, I'm only gonna talk about one. A lot of y'all be letting life just life. Y'all go with it. Some people get depressed when they go with it. Some people just don't know what they're doing in life. But this one right here will instantly increase the quality of your life. I'm not saying it's gonna be easy, but once you get the hang of it, automatically increase. What I'm talking about right now, I'm talking about scheduling. Having a planner and scheduling your day out will not only organize your life, it will reduce stress and increase productivity. That right there alone will increase the quality of your life in whatever you do. But I'm not just gonna leave you hanging. I gotta give you tips. This is what we here for. We here for tangible tips on how to level up, and this is one of them. Having a schedule and a routine can greatly enhance your well-being, your productivity, and efficiency. And here, I'm about to give you tips and tricks on how to maintain a schedule. And not only that, I'm about to tell you the importance of having one. Look, before we dive in on that, you gotta set some clear goals. Because one thing in my life, clarity was everything for me. I was going nowhere fast because I had so many goals, so many activities, but I could never be disciplined and I could never get real focused because I never was clear on what I really wanted to accomplish. So if you don't have nothing to accomplish, you really just out here running amok. One thing that gets a lot of people stuck in the mud or stuck in a rat race is because they don't have clear set goals. Before you even start a planner, you need to know where you want to go in life. That right there, clarity is everything, because if you're not clear on where you want to go, you subject to anybody's will. You really go let life because you don't have nowhere that you want to go, and you can't put that first foot forward because just like this camera, your focus is not as clear. That's why you need to set goals, clear goals, and that helps you focus. That helps you with distraction, because if it's not on what you want, or if it's not enhancing or compatible or aligned with the goals that you're trying to meet, then you know it's a distraction. So for one, having clear set goals, that's gonna be number one right there. Having clear set goals is everything in life. Because me personally, I can give you an example of when I had so many goals or I had so many wants, but I never had a goal in mind, right? So every time that I get the itch or the bright idea for something new, it's like the shiny object syndrome. Every time I got a bright idea, I was running with it every time. And I was never satisfied and I never really got nowhere. People see me accomplish stuff, but it's not to this full capacity because I was stretched thin, because I'm here everywhere instead of having a beeline, focus, tunnel vision on what I really wanted to accomplish. So step number one, define yourself, define the goals, define where you want to go. Step number two, create a structural routine. Establishing a structured routine can give you consistency and discipline in your life. A lot of millionaires, they say they accomplish so much because they already know exactly what they're going to do for the day. So they're not losing brain power or time in precious minutes by trying to figure out what they go do in that day. Having a routine is so important in accomplishing your goal. This is why having a structure will boost the quality of your life. Having a routine, especially a morning routine, they had a saying, if you win the morning, you win the day. In a lot of cases, it's right. Mentally, you got to be prepared for whatever that's going to come throughout that day. But once you win that morning, you feel good about that day and you create momentum. And that's how you win the day, because you're creating a momentum of, I already accomplished something. I feel like I could accomplish some more, instead of having that bad day and now your whole day messed up. So having a morning routine is everything. Know what you go do, know what you go eat, and it just stimulates your mind into knocking off that checklist. Set specific times for waking up, exercising, reading, emails. Do not allow your day to take a life of its own. Be the author of your life. Write down what you want to do. I know it's hard staying disciplined with it, but after a few repetitions, it's like building a muscle. You're going to learn how to create the day in a paradise and a life for yourself. So with that being said, we're going to go into step 3, and that is prioritizing your tasks. Identify your most important and high priority tasks. Allocate time slots to it and get those done, because a lot of people, you could be busy but not productive. A lot of people will distract their life with just being busy, and at the end of the day, they get nothing done. So identify your most 3 important tasks, because you're not going to get everything done. But the task that's going to move the needle, the task that's going to push that forward to your goal, regardless of any other task or not completing anything, if you do this one thing, it'll get you closer to your goal. That should be a priority on what you need to accomplish. So prioritize your high priority goals and make a time slot and when you want to complete them. Those is the mandatories. The ones under that is just bonus. But them 3 tasks that you need to complete them. Don't get distracted by it. Don't let nobody knock you off your square. Get those done. And a lot of times tasks to complete those, you allocate those when you most focus. Learn yourself, do some self-inventory, and know when you most focus, your most optimal time to where you could complete something. That's when you take advantage of those high priority tasks and get those out the way. Because when those are compounded and stacking on top of themselves, you will learn, or you will see how effective this is. Now let's go to step number 4. Step number 4 is allow yourself to have some flexibility, because everything in life is not gonna go according to plan. I don't care what you have on that schedule. You're gonna allow yourself for the unforeseen things. Once you learn that life is gonna take a life of its own, but you have the power to rein it back in, that's when you could start really taking advantage of having a schedule. With that being said though, learn how to put some flexibility in your schedule just in case anything happens. Family emergencies can happen, work emergencies can happen, anything can happen in this life. And you and me both know it. So allow yourself to have some wiggle room to get up out that rut. Unexpected events will occur and changing circumstances is inevitable. So allow yourself to have some wiggle room to get through that maze and get back on task, because it will happen. Adjust, readjust, and keep it moving. And this is where we come to step number 5. Now this one right here, this will get a lot of people, because that's what we think, multitasking. Avoid multitasking, because a lot of us think that we could juggle at one time. And one thing I learned, that we're not really multitasking when we think we're doing something in a short amount of time, meaning I'm doing something, then I stop doing that task and I switch to another task. That is not multitasking. You're stopping and you're switching tasks in a short time span, but you're not doing that at the same time. You're not multitasking. And when you're working on another task, the task that you left or you stopped working on, it is not growing, it is not getting closer to completion. You are not multitasking. Do not trick yourself in thinking multitasking is something special, important, and necessary. No, concentration is. We completing tasks over here. We're not having a whole bunch of unfinished tasks over here. You know what the crazy part about multitasking is? It could lead to reduced productivity, because we really tricking ourselves into believing that we're doing more than what we actually doing. When in all actuality is, we're stopping one task to start another task, and we're pushing this task forward, but the task that we left is stagnant. It's not going nowhere. It's not getting closer to its goal or completion. But in our mind, we thinking just because we're doing so much at one time and we're switching that we're multitasking. We're not. Avoid that at all costs, because at the end of the day, you're going to be left with a lot of unfinished business. And we handle business on ours right here. We stand on our square all day. And for step number 6, that's going to bring us to scheduling break times and downtime, because having a schedule is not a prison, just as much as having a budget is not a prison or punishment. Having a schedule, you are the creator of the schedule. You are the author of your life. So with that being said, you create that schedule. You know what you need to accomplish in life, and you also know how much it's gonna take. So with that being said, put in that effort to accomplish, but don't burn yourself out. Have some downtime. Have some time to just chill, just to relax, just to do shit for kicks and giggles. You feel me? This is grown man business right here, having a schedule. If you want to boost the quality of your life, this is what we're doing. But also, boosting the quality of your life is having that downtime. Having that time you could chill and relax in your guilty pleasures. That is quality for us. That is happiness for us, having them guilty pleasures. So you could sprinkle them in there from time to time. But remember, we trying to get shit done, period. My favorite quote right now is, once the tide goes out, we see who out here swimming naked. We go see who out here putting in that work, because time will tell. But I can't leave y'all with that, right? Because it takes discipline. You're not gonna get it right on your first time you making a schedule, your second or third. It takes repetition. It's actually building a muscle. With anything in life, it's gonna take discipline, it's gonna take repetition. I'm here for it. I'm here to be your accountability partner. So let me tell you why that having a schedule is important, because I can't just leave you with tips, because sometimes it just goes over people's head. Like, it sounds good, but let me tell you the benefits of it. Now, we got through the steps and the tips on what you need to do. Let's go over the benefits. Benefit number 1, this improves your time management. We all know that is the hardest thing right now for people. It's time management. Having a schedule and sticking to it to a T, it gives you so much time, because you actually know what you're going to do in that day. You give yourself downtime. You give yourself whatever time you need to have that leisure. So it increased time management. 2, it increased productivity. With a well-structured schedule, you could avoid wasting uncertainty. You could avoid wasting indecisiveness. Knowing what needs to be done, it helps you focus and achieve the things that need to be achieved. Benefit number 3, it reduces stress. We all know having a schedule reduces stress caused by disorganization. I always say, especially when it comes to disorganization, I always say cleanliness is godliness. When you're organized, you know where things is at. You know what things that needs to be done. And having something in your back pocket like a schedule is the cheat code, really, for life. I'm trying to tell you, I ain't make a whole video on this just to play you right now. I'm trying to tell you, it is the cheat code for life. It provides a sense of control and predictability, allowing you to approach tasks calmly and with certainty. Schedule. Benefit number 4, it helps with work-life balance. Now, me personally, I'm not into the work-life balance thing because I call it a rhythm or harmony or flows, because balance, obviously, you got to give the same amount to each object for it to be balanced. But when flows and harmony is, this task might require 10% of my time. This task might require 20% of my time for completion. They all go get 100%. But as far as time management, we talk about time. So having a schedule, it helps with the time management because you already know what you need to get done. You already know where you need to be. You already know what's the deadline to things. And you know how to get there because you have a schedule. It helps you allocate time for work, personal commitments, hobbies, and even relaxation. It helps promote the healthy balance between your work and personal life. If you get this right, tip number 5, it enhances your self-discipline. Because once you start going off of your schedule, this is where discipline comes, right? Because we all know what we need to get done. But sometimes when we procrastinate so much, life is going to force us to get it done. Do you want it to get it done on life terms or your terms? Me, I'm selfish. So I wanted to get it done on my terms because I'm stubborn too. Once you learn how to write a schedule, how to plan a schedule, how to execute a schedule, discipline is going to be your best friend. And it enhances it because you have a template on what to do. And now we're going to go to our last tip. But after that tip, I'm going to give you some gems to go home with. You feel me? Our last tip is goal achievement. A schedule aligns your actions with your long-term goals. Breaking down your small-term goals and managing the tasks to where you start achieving your goals and compounding them to get to your long-term goals. Once you become efficient with planning, scheduling, and executing, who gonna say something to you when you out here achieving goals? When you become a doer instead of a talker or just a thinker, life is gonna reward you. The universe is gonna be your oyster. Now remember, and our last one is goal achievement. A schedule line your daily actions with your long-term goals. By breaking down your long-term goals into smaller, manageable tasks and scheduling them, you increase the likelihood of you achieving that. That, my friend, is how you become a boss. Because when you about that action and you achieving instead of talking, when you a doer instead of a thinker, that is when you demand that respect. That is when you gain that respect. That is when you become a manifestor. And the world is your oyster. But remember, a schedule is just a tool to make the most of your time. Always use it to adjust for unforeseen things. Regularly review and adjust accordingly. Now, if I gave you some game, if you feeling it, like the channel, bruh. Comment, let me know a few things that you feel that will increase the quality in your life. I got some other ones that I'm gonna make video on, but I wanna hear what you gotta say.